I had a lot of fun playing this last time and kind of reading the dialogue, but there's one thing I gotta say before we get into it. There's there's one character. I want to do all the routes, all right? I want to do all the routes or all the routes that I can do. But there's one character that I really don't want to do. And I think it's the orange-haired girl because I'm pretty sure that she's underage, and I don't. I'm sorry, but like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I just listen, man. I just want the story. All right, I'm in here for the story. I don't want any of that. I mean, she's the only character without kind of the risque kind of story apparently. But here's the thing: why would they put a panty shot of her on the freaking trailer scene? That's what confuses me. So I don't want to take any risks because I have enough dignity to where I wouldn't want to do that. So, anyways, let's just get back into it. You know, let's hop back into it. I was picking at the cracked paving stones with my shoe and staring aimlessly at the club's building. Just a few more seconds before I have to come up with some decision. That's when I realized I've caught myself rolling on the grass, weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it's another instinct when all the energy for whimpering and self-pitying is used up. The body either goes into hibernation or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seemed to have chosen the second option, because out of the blue I found the determination to figure out what was going on. In order to do that, I had to act like a man, like a human, to maintain dignity of a representative of my own world. I followed the path to the left, on the right side of which stood small cabins, apparently the homes of the local pioneers. I like this background, by the way. Actually, they look quite cozy from the outside. And though I was born in the Soviet Union, I had never been part of its children's organizations, neither the Pioneers nor even the October Children. I managed the life of a daily typical pioneer, or imagined the life of a typical pioneer camp, a bit differently. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks, wake-up call at 6 o'clock, played by a siren. 1 minute to make your bed, then joining formation at the drill square. Or wait, could I be confusing it with something else? Suddenly, something struck me on the back. I staggered but remained on my feet, turned around and prepared to fight heroically for my life. All I found was another girl standing before me. My mouth hung open in surprise. Pick your jaw up off the ground. I closed my mouth. Same pioneer uniform, but the way she was wearing it looked, let's say, provocative. Unlike all the other girls I had met here before, this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed my desire to get to know her better. New here, are you? We're gonna call him Simon. We're gonna call our character Simon, not Simeon. Fine, see ya. She threw a threatening glance at me and walked past. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to. The most interesting thing is that this hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give off the feeling of some deadly danger, except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose. Last I managed to make it to the square. There's no linen on an armored car, though one could easily expect something like that to happen after all this happened. Instead, however, a monument to a certain comrade towered in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal read Genda, or Genda. Must be some big figure in the party. There's some small benches at the side. Quite pleasant here. Where did that girl tell me to go? To the right or to the left? To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. And why am I going there anyway? Ah, right. I've decided to pretend to be normal. So to the right. Through a small grove. Came out of a pier. I must have taken a wrong turn. Hey, wrong way. I turned towards the voice. The first girl stood before me. Now, what did I tell you? Take the left at the square, wasn't it? She had changed from her pioneer uniform. Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Slavya. Of course it is. Actually, my full name's Slavanya, but everyone calls me Slavya. So you can too. Yeah. I still felt a bit confused, so I would not come up with more meaningful answers. And, what's your name? Like she could see right through me. Yeah, Simon. Nice to meet you, Simon. Alright, I'm almost done here. Could you wait a minute? I'm gonna go change and we'll go to Olga Dmitrieva's together, alright? Agreed. After this exchange, she ran off. I sat on the pier and let my feet hang into the water. I was wearing heavy winter boots, but in no such weather was there nothing wrong in getting my feet wet. Furthermore, it let me cool myself a little. Looking at the river, I was brainstorming and processing everything that has happened. This is some kind of conspiracy. It's a weird one. Even too friendly at times. No, it really looks more like a random event. Something entirely incomprehensible random event. Shall we go? Slavia was standing beside me, dressed in her pioneer uniform again. Let's go. Been here for a very short time, but of all the people I met, she looks the least suspicious. She looks the least sus. However, this fact is already suspicious itself. We walked to the square. The USSR girl and the girl who hit me in the back were there, chasing each other. That's the girl I was talking about, by the way. I don't want to do her route. I don't want to. She's a kid. Is that kind of game? What is that? Some kind of game they're playing? They're playing Among Us. Yolanda, enough running. I'll tell everything to Olga. Aye, aye, Captain. That's her voice. Decided not to question Slavia for a while about what was going on, or the local residents. Better meet this mysterious Olga Dmitrieva first. Looks like she's the boss here. Can't say Dmitrieva without doing an accent. We walked past the rows of almost identical cabins, some of which looked like fat beer barrels, while others looked more like household sheds. Finally, Slavia stopped in front of a smallish, one-story cabin. Looked like an artist's painting. Faded paint, chipping here and there with age, sparkling in the sun. The window shutters, slightly ajar, were swaying almost unnoticeably in the wind, and huge lilac bushes were growing at the sides. Almost seemed like this ramshackle hut was drowning in a storm of purple silk, and the lilacs, like some elemental force, were inexorably destroying the troop leader's house. What are you standing around for? Let's go. Slavia snapped me out of my daydreaming. Stop teasing Lena already. Uh-oh. Reina. Looks like there's someone inside. Indeed, a moment later, the door swung open and Yolanda, ran out and dashed past with the same mischievous grin. The pigtailed girl came out next. Don't let it bother you, Lena. So her name is Lena. Gotta be thankful it's not Reina, at least. But I don't... Instead of finishing her sentence, she blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason, I felt like turning and following her with my eyes, but Slavia said, Come. We entered the cabin. It looked like something similar to what I imagined. 2 beds, a table, a couple of chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, and a wardrobe. Nothing special, but at the same time it felt homelike and cozy, although this room was almost in the same state of disorder as my own flat. It doesn't look like a state of disorder. This is freaking clean. This is 20 times cleaner than my own bed, or like my own room. Then again, my own room is really small. It's like probably a fourth of the size of this. The girl standing near the window appeared to be about 25 years old. Nature had obviously gifted her with a pretty face and good body. At least one thing can keep you happy in this pandemonium. The locals are beautiful. Except for the kid. They need to burn. You're finally here. Excellent. My name is Olga Dmitrievna. I'm the camp leader. Nice to meet you, I'm Simon. I decided to talk as if I wasn't surprised by anything that was going on. She came closer. We've been expecting you since early morning. You've been expecting me? Yes, of course. And when does the next bus come? And why, do you need it? Yeah, right. Why would I need it? Guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike how I'd prefer. And I doubt I'd get any answers. No reason, I'm just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? Our mailing address, I mean. I want to send a letter to my parents and tell them that I got here fine. For some reason I had the desperate idea that if I played along I would find something out. Oh, but your parents called just half an hour ago. Sent their regards to you. Now that's a surprise. So, can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left. No. She gave me a sweet, spontaneous smile. That's very suspicious. Why not? We don't have a phone here. Then how could my parents make a call to here? I've just come back from the district central town and I talked with them there. Oh, so that's how it is. And can I somehow get to the town? No. She kept the same smile. Why not? Because the next bus only comes in a week. Decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. Get no answer anyways. This time Slavya was standing next to me and seemed to find nothing odd in our conversation. Oh, we need a uniform for you. I have absolutely no desire to put on a pioneer shorts or wear the ridiculous red neckerchief. However, wearing winter clothes in summer isn't really a great idea either. Right, thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one here who finds it strange that someone's wearing a coat and winter boots in such heat. Radio, I'll be off then, and you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Don't forget to come to dinner this evening. Having said that, she walked out of the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed out. I did alone with Slavya. I must go too. I've got things to do. Take a walk. Look around the camp for a bit. See you in the evening. There is no threat or catch to this. In this reality, as embodied by Slavya, becomes more and more appealing. For the first time today, I realized that it was awfully hot here. Although my winter clothes were to blame for that. I took off my coat and dropped it onto the bed. My pullover followed it, and I was only wearing the shirt. That's much better. All I could do was follow their advice and go look around the camp. I'll try and find something out in the meantime. Passing the local residence, I saw a pioneer guy coming my way. And it really was a pioneer guy, not a pioneer girl. Apparently there are even men in this kingdom of Amazons. Hello, you're new here, so you must be... I almost said the wrong thing. Simon, right? And how do you... Everyone knows already. I'm Electronic, by the way. The real one. You can call me that. Electronic was a robot character. Oh. So he's like the typical schoolboy stuff. Electronic, a real one. Things were going from crazy to completely insane. Alright. Elenia also calls me cheesy. Cheesy? On toast with mushrooms? Because my last name is Cheesecob. I see. Let me show you around. I accepted his offer as it would have taken much longer to get to know this place alone. Fine, let's go. He looks like a cool dude. We ended up at the sewer again, as if this place was all there was to this camp. Lena was sitting on one of the benches, reading some book. Electronic confidently approached her. Hello, Lena. Meet the new guy, Simon. He started briskly. Hello. Well, you could have said we already met, in a way. Yes. She looked away at the book for a moment, glanced at me, blushed, and went back to reading, as if not noticing we were still there. Alright, let's move on. I was first surprised that meeting the girl was reduced to a couple of words, but then I thought it was better that way. Electronic's vigorous activity did not fit well with Lena's shyness. Let's go. When we came to a building I instantly identified as a canteen. And this here? I know. This is where you consume organic food. What? What food is not organic? Well, I mean, there's not organic food. Isn't tofu not organic? I'm not sure. Anyways, yeah, something like that. On the canteen's porch stood the unfriendly girl who hit me in the back earlier. The sight of her, my joking mood vanished in a blink of an eye. Really, now is not the time to be pulling this guy's leg, even though he is quite hilarious. I need to figure out what's here, or at least where I am. Her over there, that's Elite's, the chick's fiance. I'm not even gonna try saying that. Be careful around her. He spoke in a whisper. Diva means two. Diva means two in Russian. The whole nickname sounds more like a tuch in Russian, a reference to the late. I don't know what that means. Don't risk calling her Divache. She doesn't like that. What did you say? What did you just call me? She must have heard him. In a blink of an eye, Elisa jumped down from the porch and dashed towards us. Alright, you're managed. From here onwards. Electronic took to his heel. I'm saving right here. Oh no, I'll save right here. Save game. We got our first choice. I'm gonna choose to do nothing. Elisa, running past, stopped for a moment and growled. I'll deal with you later. Deal with me? What did I do wrong? I added a forced guilty smile to my words. Then, what am I guilty of? She made no reply and carried on chasing Electronic. Looks like I'll have to kill some time alone waiting for dinner. Decide to go east. At least in the direction where east would be in my world. Soon I found myself near a football pitch. Oh, wait. Crap. Found myself near a football pitch. This is what they meant by... oh, yeah, I forgot football in Europe is... football in, like, Europe and other places that's not America is soccer. So, yeah, he does have it. Yeah, football is... yeah. Alright, I can't judge this person for playing football technically because soccer is cool. I don't like football that much. Soon after, I found myself near a football pitch. Game was full swing there. Guess watching for a bit wouldn't do any harm. In my childhood and teen years, I was not a bad player myself and even thought of going professional, but a few injuries in a row killed my desire to risk my health for the sake of the uncertain chance in the game. Kids of different ages were running around the pitch. I could see a boy about 10 and a girl about 14 years old. Girl. Hey, that's Yelanya. Alright, so she plays football. What's so surprising? She seems like a restless one, after all. I was standing quite far away from the pitch, but she still noticed me. Hey, you! Yelanya shouted. Wanna play? Didn't know how to answer. One hand, running around for 10 minutes is no big deal. The other hand, any wrong move in my situation could be my final one. In any case, my attire wasn't suitable for this weather. If I played in winter boots and warm jeans, I would sweat like a pig. And playing barefoot without jeans would be simply unethical. Maybe another time, alright? I shouted in response, turned around, and walked back. It's followed by Yelanya screams about my pants or me being a pansy or something like that. The evening was falling, making me tired and empty after a day wasted with no real purpose. Came back to the square, sat down on a bench, and gave an exhausted sigh. I better sit here and wait for dinner. After all, it's easier to search for answers when you're not hungry. They do give food to the people here, right? You know, it's curious how the simplest of human needs can break the will to ponder on things, to strive for something. For example, I feel hungry now, so I care much less about where I am or what is happening to me. Could great people also be affected by this? In that case, how did Spartacus start the slave uprising in ancient times? I can only conclude that I am not a great person, and it does not really matter which mechanism I serve a gear in, society, the Matrix, or a weird pioneer camp. My thoughts were interrupted by the sound of bells chiming from a loudspeaker on the light pole. That was trumpets. Those weren't bells. That must be the dinner call. I headed towards the canteen. It was a good thing I now know where that is. Olga was there, standing on the porch. I stopped and looked closely at her, as if I were expecting something. She looked back at me for a while, but at last came closer. Simon, what are you waiting for? Come in already. Guess nothing bad can happen if I go with her. My stomach backed me up here. Whoo! Wait a second. No. I want to see this. No. I want to see this. This looks cool. I like this. I like this background. Let me get a screenshot of this. Wait. Alright. The canteen looked like a canteen. If I had a chance to visit a factory canteen at some point in my life, this one was exactly the same. Just maybe a bit cleaner and more modern. Metal chairs and tables, glazed tiles on the walls and on the floor, unsophisticated tableware with the occasional crack. Guess that's what a canteen at a pioneer camp is supposed to look like. Simon, wait a moment. We'll find a place for you to sit. She looked around the place. We'll just call her Diva. Diva, hold it right there! Olga Dmitrieva shouted at Elisa, who was passing by. What? What's up with your clothes? Anything wrong with them? Indeed, her attire looked somewhat provocative. Get your uniform nice and neat right now. All right. Lisa got her shirt right and walked past, shooting an unpleasant glare at me. So, where can we find you a place to sit? There wasn't a lot of free seats. Go over there, next to Yelanya. Yeah, it's fine. The food's already on the table, too. I had no choice but to accept. In common Russian language, koleta cutlet is minced meat fried or baked in the shape of a ball or a cylinder. Close to American patties, compote is a drink made of boiling water or dried fruit in a large amount of water. Compote in French. Of course, there was the probability that cutlets were poisoned with curare, mashed potatoes generously seasoned with arsenic, and a glass filled with excellent antifreeze instead of compote. They all looked so tasty I had no chance to resist. Hey, what do you want? I replied rather rudely to Yelanya, who was sitting next to me. Why do you play football with us? Because of my clothes, I said, pointing at the source of the problem. Oh, alright, then, eat. However, there wasn't much left to eat. My cutlet was missing from the plate. Only she could have done it. No, more precisely, none but Alanya could have done it. Give me back my cutlet. In a big family, you snooze, you lose. Could cost you a cutlet if you are careless. Give it back, I'm telling you. Oh, by the way, it's this song again. It's the Vocaloid song. I don't want to make anyone mad, so I'm gonna not attempt. See? I don't have it. And indeed, Yolanya's plate was empty. It seemed like this little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlets. Take it easy. We'll work something out now. She grabbed my plate and ran off. There was no point in following her. If they wanted to poison me here, they would have done it a much easier way. About a minute later, Yolanya returned and handed me the plate with a steaming hot cutlet on it. Here's the one for the starving. Thanks. That was all I could say. I was so hungry that my suspicions were gone in a flash. That looks really nice. I like how the napkins are set up. The shot shakers. I was so hungry. Oh wait, I picked up the cutlet with my fork and... What the? Some bug. No, not a bug. An insect. It's got legs and it's wiggling. Plate fell to the floor and broke in pieces. The chair hit me hard on the leg while falling. I've disliked insects since I was a child, but when those creepy crawlies appear on my plate, that's just way too much. You little... Yolani seemed ready for such a twist and was already on the floor laughing as she just heard a fresh stand-up comedy joke. I dashed after her. We ran out of the canteen. We were just a few dozen meters apart, and I feel like I would catch this little girl easily. We ran through the square, past the club's house, into the forest path. I started to gasp for breath. I should quit smoking, I guess. Vanya ran out of sight the next turn. It can't be true that she meant to get away from me. I simply can't. Stopped to try to catch my breath again. Night was falling. Looks like I'm lost. It's a bad idea to stay in the woods at night. I better get back to camp. However, I had absolutely no clue which way to go. Well, gotta choose at random. Went for quite some time in the forest, and even thought of crying for help, and I finally saw the camp's fence beyond the trees. Everything fell back into place. The bus is gone, I mumbled quietly. On one hand, there's nothing strange about that. The bus just couldn't stay there forever. On the other hand, it meant that there was someone driving, because buses do not drive themselves. Or do they? This world seemed too normal, but every event here had at least two explanations for it. An ordinary, real, everyday explanation, and a surreal one. Certainly the driver could have just been off for a snack, and I left too soon, and that's why... In any case, this is not the place for me. Whether the bus drives itself or not was probably an important question, but it was much more important to know how I got there at all. And where this here was. The fields and the woods stretching towards the horizon had no answers. There was nothing familiar about them. A strange, odd, and alien world. However, at the same time, it was absolutely not frightening. Either my self-preservation instinct had decided to resign from his job, or this running around the camp with the local pioneers had lulled me so much with their carefree normality that I was simply forgetting what had happened to me just a couple hours ago. Although I probably had no strength left to worry. All I wanted was some peace, calmness. I just wanted to have a break from it all. And only after that I would continue looking for answers, ready and reloaded. However, that would be sometime later. And what about now? Can I allow myself to relax? It got completely dark, and in any case it was better to spend the night in the camp. I was about to head back when someone came up silently from behind. Hello, what are you doing out here so late? Slavya sitting before me. Surprised that I jumped. So, you didn't catch Yelanya, did you? She smiled. I nodded disappointedly inside. No wonder. No one ever has. Yeah, she's a real rocket girl. She could have found better use for her energy than looking for adventures. You must be hungry. You didn't manage to have dinner after all. Indeed, I completely forgot about my hunger, but after these words of hers, my stomach drew attention to itself by giving a traitorous rumble. Slavya smiled. Let's go then. What, is the canteen still open? It's alright, I have the keys. The keys? Yeah, I have the keys to all the facilities in this camp. How come? Well, I'm something like the camp leader's aide here. I see. Well, let's go. It was an offer you can't refuse. When you reached the square, Slavya stopped in her tracks. Excuse me, I should warn my roommate that I'll be late. She's so punctual herself that she'll be worried otherwise. You can go on to the canteen. I'll come in a minute, alright? Alright. I really did not expect to find someone out aside for myself there at such a late hour, and that somebody was apparently trying to hopelessly open the door. Without any secret thoughts, I walked up to the porch. The lockpicker turned out to be Elisa. She probably should have kept off and waited. She looked at me intently for a while and then said, "Just stand there, give me a hand or something." Meaning, help me open the door. Why? Because I want some buns and kefir. Dinner wasn't big enough. Is that really a good idea? Aren't you hungry yourself, huh? Yelanya didn't let you have a normal dinner, did she? She smiled sarcastically. It's true, she didn't. It's fine, Slavia will come now and... What? Guess I shouldn't have said that. I'm off then, and you'll pay for this. You owe me 2 already. Having said that, Elisa disappeared into the night. What was the first one? Slavia didn't keep me waiting too long. Is everything alright? Yeah, why are you asking? No reason, it's nothing. It'd be better if I didn't tell her about Elisa. Everything's fine. I said that and immediately heard a note of dishonesty in my voice. Well, shall we go? As for Slavia, she did not seem to notice anything. At least she was pretending that she didn't. We entered the canteen. Wait a bit, I'll go get something. I sat down in a chair and immediately waited for my savior. My dinner was simple, a few buns and a glass of kefir. No wonder, I bet hungry pioneers finished off everything. However, even that was far better than my usual diet. Slavia sat across the table and looked at me while I was eating. There's something on my face. No, She smiled. How do you like your first day in the camp? Well, I really don't know. It's silly to ask someone who suddenly found themselves in a different reality, whether he liked the food in the canteen, the camp leader, or his assigned hut. It's alright. You'll soon get used to it. Slavia sat out in the window, dreamily. Frankly speaking, I have no desire to get used to such things, but as for her, she doesn't know. At least she wants me to think that she doesn't. Well, all in all, it's nice here. I had to somehow break the awkward silence. You think so? She asked without any interest. Yeah, this place is so... I wanted to say retro, but I managed to hold it back. After all, it was retro for me, but what about them? It might be the only kind of life they knew. If the term life was applicable here at all. How so? She watched me closely, as if something important depended on my answer. Well, I don't know. Lovely. Yeah, it's lovely here. I guess you're right. She smiled again. She looks like she's staring into my soul right now. It's very good that you think so. Why? Well, not everyone likes it here. What about you? Me? Yes. I love it here, it's great. And you don't need to worry about what other people think. Well, I don't really worry. Slavia laughed. This conversation seemed to be leading me far astray from where I wanted to go. You're worried about yourself. Really? Why do you say so? Well, someone is chewing so intensely. I'm sorry. It's okay. I couldn't bring myself to be more cautious around this girl. But why her in particular? Why not any of the other local inhabitants? Every one of them looked completely normal to me. Precisely normal. So normal it sends chills down my spine and into my marrow. Normal. Not like a neighbor with a power drill in one hand and a subwoofer in the other. Not like a passenger that you can meet in the subway or on public transport. Not like a co-worker at the next table in an open plan office. Not even like a friend who only differs from other humans in his constant insistence. All of them looked normal as I would expect them to be with their with their own downsides, but without any superpowers. Slavia was also cute. Glanced at her stealthily, not knowing what to say. I'm sorry, I wanted to show you the camp, but I ran off my feet. I didn't miss anything while on my own, I guess. Are you sure you haven't missed anything at all? She smiled so brightly that I had to drop my eyes in confusion. Well, how would I know? It's my first day here. Okay, and what have you seen so far? I've seen the square, this canteen, the football field. What about the beach? Just from afar. You really should go there, or let's do it together. Yeah, okay, we will. Her naturalness started to scare me. But then I thought, what if everything that happens now is how it's supposed to be, and this world looks strange only to me, while it is for them normal? Maybe I was thrown into past. Yes, that would explain a lot. Can I ask a stupid question? No. Slavia smiled and stood from the table. It's late. Can you find the way to Olga Dmitrievna's by yourself? Wait, that was her speaking. Of course I can, but why should I go there? She'll settle you with someone. What for? Probably this question probably seems stupid, but because Slavia burst into a good-natured laugh. You need to sleep somewhere, right? That makes sense. Fine, I'll be off then. Good night. Night. Strange that she left in such a hurry. A bundle of keys left in the door caught my attention. I was going to catch up to Slavia, but where does she live? And knocking on every door in the middle of the night doesn't sound like a bright idea. I'm gonna have to save so many times, guys. How many of these are there? Okay, there's a bunch of empty slots. Well, if we take the keys, we could get in trouble. But if we leave the keys, we could. Something might be able to get in, or someone might be able to get in, or whatever. So, well, if we leave the keys, maybe Slavia could come back or whatever. Maybe she'd be like, oh, I forgot the keys, and then come back and get them. So we'll leave the keys. On the other hand, why would I need them? The night, though it wasn't dark, wasn't silent at all. One could hear chirping crickets, the songs of the night birds, and rustling trees from everywhere. The sudden desire to follow Slavia's advice and go to the camp leader's cabin appeared. I don't know why, but the sight of the unknown bronze builder of communism put me in a constructive mood. I sat on the bench and started to recall everything that happened today. That was all my constructive mood could offer. Here is much brighter than near the canteen, and the tardy pioneers were running by, so this place didn't seem scary at all. Summer camp, girls. I was so tired of everything new and strange that I could not come up with a single explanation for what was going on. I heard a barely noticeable rustle nearby. I shivered and looked in the direction. A girl, reading a book. Lena. I decided to move closer and talk. She was the only new person I had met here without exchanging even a few words. Hi, what are you reading? Lena was so surprised that she even jumped. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Never mind. She blushed and stared at the book again. So what are you reading? On the cover was written, Gone with the Wind. There is so many options. This is going to be a scary thing. Praise the book, keep silent. Praise the book. A good book. Thanks. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that such literature suits her very well. Lena didn't seem to be interested in continuing this conversation. Well, I'm sorry if I'm bothering you. No, she answered while still looking at the book. Can I sit beside you for a while? Why? And really why? Maybe because I was very tired and having company is better than being alone. Maybe I wanted to try and find something out from her. Carefully examined Lena. But no, I doubt that. Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to? Feel free. But if I'm bothering you, no, you're not. I could leave. Just say, everything's alright. Okay then. Sat on the end of the bench carefully. After such an intense talk, staying here was the last thing I wanted, but it wouldn't be nice just to stand up and leave. That didn't really go well, huh? Lena hasn't answered anything. Seems I've made a fool out of myself. But if Lilani was here, she'd have a good laugh at me. Do you enjoy being here? I recalled the Slavya's question. Dang it, I pressed... Ugh. You enjoy being here. I called Slavya's question. I thought it would be a good start for the conversation. Yes. She smiled slightly. I guess I like it too. Lena definitely isn't very sociable, and probably can't carry on a meaningless conversation as easily as Slavya. Then there was something about her that attracted attention. Like a momentary glimpse, reflection, the glass. On a rainy autumn evening. Sorry, my brain's not working right now. Which makes you turn around and stare into the darkness, searching for something that you saw at the corner of your eye. Of course, you weren't able to distinguish or understand what it was, but it still felt so tempting. Lena was still reading the book without paying any attention to my presence. I had no intention of asking her anything about this camp or the world in general. Beautiful night. Yes. How in the world would we start a conversation with her? It's late. I have to go. Yes, it's quite late. Good night. Night. There's something strange about this girl. At first glance, she is a typically shy and modest pioneer girl, but the mystery of Leda took its own place in the massive list of mysteries about this camp, which I had started to put together in my head. And that is where we are ending it off for today. I really thank you guys for watching this. Come back for the next one. I'm gonna be recording this one. I'm gonna be recording the next one right after this one, so I'm probably gonna be able to pump these out real fast. The thing I like about making visual novel videos is that you're able to just pump out the videos, because most of the time visual novels don't have to be heavily edited, unlike my Minecraft videos where there's a lot of jump cuts and everything. There's a lot of little tiny edits, like the Peter Griffin one I had. But anyways, thanks for watching the video. See you in the next one.